And here we are live after another Giants loss. The Broncos game killed this Giants team. And welcome into another edition of Dave Rothenberg's Giants Obsession as the Giants now fall to 2-7. And if you are starting to spend time on Tankathon, then you are not alone. Currently, the Giants have the 6th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. So Jackson Dart continues to play pretty good football. The guys around him continue to fail him. The coaching continues to remain very questionable, and the Giants continue to make mistakes. Rinse and repeat week after week after week. Guys, we have seen this continuously. The injuries, and you could say, well, the injuries on the other side of the ledger, the Niners have the same injuries that the Giants have. So you can't sit here and convince me that the Giants lost this game because of injuries. The Giants lost this game because they don't tackle. I mean, it's the same thing. They don't execute. You get an interception with 30 seconds to go at the end of the half, down by 10, deep in Niners territory. You get nothing. You do these little crappy garbage plays. You miss a field goal, and you finish the half still down 10. I told you, this was not a very good football team. And everyone with their, if they beat the Broncos, then they beat the Eagles. So they lost to the Broncos. They lost to the Eagles. They lost to the Niners. And they're now sitting here at 2-7. Am I excited about Jackson Dart? Yes. Do I think he's a good quarterback? Yes. Did he prove to me another day that he's good? I mean, it's not his fault that Theo Johnson can't catch, right? It's not his fault that Jamie Gillen can't kick it into the landing area, right? It's not his fault that the Giants continue to make these same mistakes over and over and over. It's not his fault that they can't tackle. Did you see that one play? It'd be bad enough if it was Christian McCaffrey that took it to the house. They're like, hey, you, Brian Robinson, you go in there. McCaffrey, he's tired. They run it to him. Deontay Banks, I guess it was an attempt at a tackle. He bounced off him like it was a pinball and took it into the end zone. I told you on Friday when we sat here and did this show that McCaffrey would get 25-plus touches. 28 carries for 106 yards and 5 receptions. And how about that touchdown where he was, I mean, wouldn't you think that the Giants may have thought about, I don't know, guarding Christian McCaffrey on that touchdown where he was wide open on a 3rd and 3? Like, wouldn't that be the first thing that you would decide to cover? Well, the Giants decided to leave him wide open. He catches it. He scores 7-7, and that was it. First drive was great. I mean, Jackson Dart, it's another week that he has it. He's good. He's going to be terrific. He's athletic. Now, here's the thing, guys. He takes so many hits, and you saw you're down 17. And you're running him. You're down 7. Like, what are you doing if you're Brian Daboll? And I get it that this is the way the kid is. He's going to put his head down. He's going to run through a brick wall. But can we save him from him? I mean, if you lose Jackson Dart, you do realize there's no reason to watch the Giants because that's how unwatchable they'll in fact be. Now, I told you he'd go for 250. He went for what? 245, I guess, or 247. He's terrific. He really is. 24-33. They dropped a couple passes on top of that. Theo Johnson with an unbelievable drop. 191 pass yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 8 carries, 56 rush yards, 1 rushing touchdown, a QBR of 107. It's another week, and he does it with nobodies. I mean, Darius Slayton, it feels like he's planted by the other team. He drops another touchdown. But pay him $12 million a year. It really is. It's remarkable to watch the Giants and their continued ineptitude is what it is. All right, so let's make this conversational. Let's bring you guys into the mix and let's start to have the conversation of what happened. Where do we go from here? How bad of a football team is this? And now I think you start to have the conversation and morph into the how long are you going to hang on to this regime? Because you're 2-7 again. It was Halloween on Friday. The season is over, and it doesn't get much easier now. I mean, I know you're at the Bears, and they're hardly great, but they put up 47 points, and your secondary is a disaster. We even thought Javon Holland was going to play. He wasn't able to go in this game. So no Adebo, no Flott, no Holland. I mean, Art Green is hurt. I mean, it's laughable. I mean, does it even bother you anymore? That's the thing. At least after the Broncos game, I came in here and I was red hot and I was angry. And we sat here, we went through all the machinations of what happened and how there was like a 1 in 1,000 chance, but the Giants managed to get that done and they lost the game. But at least you were angry. At least you felt alive because you had anger. Now it's like, oh yeah, Giants, this is what they do. Now it's the Niners that put up 34 points against the Giants. And I don't want to hear about the injuries because the Niners didn't have Pearsall. They have their starting quarterback, for God's sakes. Right? They don't have Fred Warner. I mean, they don't have Bosa. So please, I don't want to hear it. The Giants are outclassed every single game, be it coaching, be it players, whatever it is. It's every single game. Cherry Coke Nation, and thank you for getting involved in the super chat, says team quit after Denver, soft tackles, celebrating 5-yard tackles, Dart throws dimes that get dropped by scrubs, demoralizing all around, fire everyone. I mean, we're leaning in that direction, right? You're 2-7, and thanks for supporting us. We're 2-7, and it gets no easier, right? You're Chicago, which you wouldn't think you'd win, and then you're Green Bay and Detroit. So you tell me. You tell me, how does this thing get better? I mean, I think what a lot of people are going to start to do is root against the Giants, right? That's what's going to happen. You're going to start to root against the Giants, hoping they lose, hoping you get a better pick, and hoping that they move on from this regime. Because how many more years? And how many do you think? And again, I told you I was going to wait to the end of the season to give you my verdict. But do you think that there are not coaches out there, Cliff Kingsbury, Mike McCarthy, Lane Kiffin, that would give anything to come in here and coach this kid, to coach a landmark franchise in the Giants? And this kid who looks like he's the real deal, you don't think that coaches would line up to be the head coach of the Giants with the quarterback in place? I think they would, but they don't tackle. And, you thought maybe Carl Banks calling out Dexter Lawrence, that either Dexter Lawrence and or the rest of that defense would hear that, be motivated by that, and come out and give you some level of performance, and they gave you nothing. They gave you nothing. So here we are again, another Sunday at 7:30, where we sit here on Dave Rothenberg's Giants Obsession, and we just have the same thing over and over and over. So if you'd like to be conversational, let's do it. You want to get into the YouTube chat? The guys will tell me what you're saying. Let's do it. You want to subscribe? Let's do it. You want to like us on YouTube? Let's do it. We welcome you guys. We want the interaction. But to sit here and tell you that I'm not massively disappointed and really bothered and really horrified that it's every single week. And this is a 2.5-point spread. This was not like the Niners are not 11-point favorites in this game. The Giants should have been more competitive in this game. And now Scott Hansen says, Tracy really disappointed me today. Yeah, Tracy was not very good. And I don't know how good Tyrone Tracy is, to be honest with you. Singletary was the guy that got the bulk of the carries today. So Singletary had 8 for 43, which is a nice number, right? And Tracy had 5 for 18, which is 3.6 yards a carry. And by the way, had a long of 11. So on the other 4 carries, right? On the other 4 carries, he gave you a grand total of 7 yards. Here's the numbers right there on the screen. Tracy, 5 for 18, 3 catches. He's nice out of the backfield, 3 for 19. And Devin Singletary, 8 for 43, which is a good number, right? But these are like, everybody has running backs like these. These like J.K. Dobbins. You can go around any team in the league. You can have Tyrone Tracy's and Devin Singletary's and average vanilla running backs. That's what they are. They're the most pedestrian of the pedestrian running backs. That's not why they lost. They didn't lose because they couldn't run the football. They put up 24 points. They lost because they can't stop the opposition from moving the football up and down the field. They couldn't stop the Niners to save their lives in this game today. Let me run through some of the stats from this game, and you'll find it to be really remarkable. So you had no turnovers here today. No turnovers. And first down, the Niners had 25. They were 6 of 11 on third down conversions, 101 on 4. They had almost 400 yards of total yards. They made Mac Jones look like he was sensational in this game. And they ran. And what did we say? Philadelphia last week ran for what, 276 yards or something like that. The Niners today ran for 159 yards. And they said during the broadcast, and I didn't know this was true, but to hear this makes you sick to your stomach. There's 32 teams in this league. There's teams like the Browns, the Jets, the Titans, you name it. The worst run defense in all the NFL belongs to who? The New York Football Giants. So we can sit here and we could say, well, I mean, that front four with Burns and Lawrence and Thibodeau, it doesn't mean crap if you can't stop the run. It's not like they get to the quarterback continuously. ML True Crime, 8 straight runs, all right up the middle. Shake my head. Yeah, I mean, you could sit here and pick anything apart. You can. But, I mean, 400 yards of offense, 160 rushing yards. I think Mac Jones didn't throw an incompletion on his first 10 passes of the game. It's Mac Jones. I mean, it's not even like it was Brock Purdy. There's no Ricky Pearsall. Kittle got hurt again, but they ran it down your throats. They embarrassed you again. You got embarrassed at home. And banners, by the way, are flying over the building again. Mike Karp says, went to the game today with my wife and her boyfriend. I'm confused by this. All right. Went to the game today with my wife and her boyfriend. All right. Who's a season ticket holder. He's thinking about selling them for the rest of the year. They stink. All right. There's a lot to unpack in this one. All right. Most husbands don't have wives that have boyfriends. That's the first thing I take from this. If he had said, my ex-wife brought her boyfriend and we're still amicable, but I'm highly confused. I guess the gist of what he's trying to say, other than confuse the hell out of me, and God willing, you did a great job there, Mike, is that he's going to sell the rest of his tickets. But nobody wants these tickets. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to go. If you told me right now you can have 2 tickets next home game for free, you know what I'd say? Thanks, but no thanks. I don't want to go to this. Who would want to go to this? Unless you're just a sadist and you want to be tortured over and over and over, or if you have some love affair with going and sitting in the parking lot and having a bratwurst and then going into the stadium, I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to have any level of excitement because we are November 2 and you're already done. You're closer to tankathon than you are to the postseason. The Jets have 1 less win than you have right now. Dan Edwards. Dave, do you think that Bowen and Dable are tied? Okay, let me take that one first. I think Bowen is gone. It's only a matter of time. Maybe he makes the remainder of the season. He's gone. Dable, it feels like it's heading in that direction. I'm not there yet, but I think we will all get there in unison by the end of the season. So that's question 1. Dart looks good like you mentioned, and he does. Do you think Dable can move on from Bowen and survive as head coach? You know, I think the Giants have been more than patient, and thanks for the super chat there, Dan. We appreciate it. I think the Giants have been more than patient with this regime. And you saw Brian Dable sit there and tell you last year that, you know, they need to get wins and they need to be competitive. And you're 2-7. So you were 3-14 last year. You're 2-7 now this year. You're 5-21 in your last 26 games, and you are done. I mean, you can't even see Thanksgiving yet, and you're done. So is that competitive? Is that moving in the right direction? And I know what you'll hear, right? You'll hear, yeah, but you don't have Malik Neighbors, and now you don't have Scadaboo, and you don't have Adebo, and you don't have Holland, and you don't have so many pieces that you count. You didn't have Illuminor, right? So, and then John Michael Schmitz gets hurt. But here's the thing. No, and I've said this, nobody cares. The Niners don't have guys. They beat the Rams in LA on a short week. So nobody wants excuses. It doesn't matter when you try to tackle like that. Jay Gear says, can't believe I'm saying that I missed Leonard Williams. I don't know why you can't believe that. Leonard Williams was good. Leonard Williams is a good player for the Giants. And mind you, you got a 2nd round pick for Leonard Williams. When they made that trade, I was dancing. That's how excited I was. I was dancing with excitement. And you know who they got for that guy? For that Leonard Williams trade? Tyler Nubin was that pick. So you tell me, right? Or they were able to actually get Burns as well, right? They got Brian Burns for a 2nd round pick. And he's great. And he played really well again today. But it doesn't matter. They're not talented enough. They're not coached well enough. They're not talented enough. They make the same mistakes. It's embarrassing. Look at Burns today. I mean, every week you put up the stats. They're really sensational. 4 tackles, 2 solo, a sack, a tackle for loss, 1 pass deflected that was intercepted. No, he is playing. And look at his numbers for the season. We just crossed over the halfway mark. He's got 42 tackles, 27 solo, which you don't really focus on for him. It's more of a, what is he doing getting to the quarterback? He's 11 sacks on the season, 13 tackles for loss, and 5 passes defensed. So he's playing at an unbelievable level. You know what's funny is my 15-year-old said to me, the Giants could have the offensive rookie of the year, the defensive rookie of the year, the defensive player of the year, and they still stink. That's something, huh? Now think about this. Jackson Dart, offensive rookie of the year, distinctly possible, right? Defensive rookie of the year, Abdul Carter adds an interception onto that docket of what he's done so far this season, played at a high level. That's possible. Defensive player of the year. I mean, where does it, Brian Burns, does he get 18, 19, 20 sacks? That's possible. And you're still so bad? Boy, man, it is really something to watch this team week after week after week do the same thing over and over and over. And I wonder at what point are we allowed to blame the coaches? Like at what, can I blame Shane Bowen? Can I blame Brian Dable? Can I blame Joe Shane? Can I blame Mike Kafka? Like, when am I allowed to sit here and in front of you guys and blame the coaches for what's going on and blame the organization for continuing to allow the same crap week after week after week? It's real. It's remarkable, guys. It really is. And again, the ace in the hole is that he looks like a star quarterback. He does. He's terrific. He's athletic. I mean, the thing that just remains is you can't take that many hits, but he's athletic. He's accurate. I mean, the touchdown he threw to Olszewski, I know it was garbage time, was a great throw. He threw a dime to Darius Slayton that, of course, in typical Darius Slayton fashion, he dropped. So the last thing of everything that I have concerns about with this team, I have no concerns about Andrew Thomas at left tackle, and I have no concerns about Jackson Dart. None. I think he's great. He's great. What are you going to sit here and tell me? That he cares too much? That he wants to win too much? If that's the biggest knock on the kid. I mean, whatever it is, he has it. And whatever it is, Deonte Banks doesn't. And so many guys on that defense do not. They look like they were going through a walkthrough today, is what it looked like to me. Like, all right, guys, let's make our way through this walkthrough, and we'll get ready because we don't want to get anyone hurt. We'll get ready for the game coming up tomorrow. No, today was the game. That's the way you tackle. And the tackling is egregious. You've almost never seen tackling like this. And how do you have such star players on that defensive front and still you can't stop the run? Sal Muscles, they made Mac Jones look like Joe Montana. They sure did, man. They sure did. Mac Jones could have done anything he wanted today. And it's not like he had, Jawan Jennings is his ace in the hole receiver, and Kendrick Bourne and George Kittle, who's wonderful, but Sky Moore, and that's who he's throwing the football to. So I get it that the Giants don't exactly have elite receivers, Theo Johnson, and I mean you picking Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson, but on the flip side, Jawan Jennings and Kendrick Bourne are not exactly, John Taylor and Jerry Rice. But here we are again, doing this again. And then tomorrow we get to do it all over. And then Wednesday and then Friday we can get ready for the Bears game. And then Sunday we can watch the Giants lose to the Bears. And then we can come on next Sunday night and say, oh, I can't believe they lost to the Bears. Caleb Williams, he stinks, but it doesn't matter because he finds a way. Because they all find a way. Because the Giants make everybody look good every single week. Chris T, 3819. How much better do we think this team could be with a better coach? Better. Definitively better. We all know the roster is weak. Is there any chance that this is still the highest we can perform regardless of the coach? All right, so Chris, I think that's a good question. All right, so you and I know you're watching, so I'm going to ask you, and I want you to sit in your home or wherever you're watching this and answer out loud to my questions, okay? You say, is there a chance that at 2-7, that they'd be 2-7 if you had a really good, what you deem to be a really good head coach? Would they, Chris, in your mind, have won the Dallas game with a really good head coach? Because in my mind, they win the Dallas game with a really good head coach. So that's 3-6. Chris, I'm going to ask you about the Broncos game where they led by 18 points in the fourth quarter. Would they have won that game had they had what you deem to be a really good head coach? And the answer to that for me is the Giants would have won that game with a really good head coach. That's 4-5. Now, would they have won the Saints game with a really good head coach? I think it was schemed up well. They turned the ball over 5 times. So I'm not going to go that far. But in my mind, 2-7 at a minimum, we'll be looking at 4-5 right now. And when you're not that, and because you said it in your message, right? And you're right. They're not that talented. You're right. So if you're not overly talented, if you're not a terrific football team, then it's the minutia, right? Then it's the little nuanced pieces of the game that define whether you're going to win or lose these games. And when it comes to the, X's and O's and the little nothingness and that most people wouldn't even recognize, do you think the Giants do that well? The Giants had to go into a game this year without a kicker, right? The Giants, again today, didn't hit the landing zone. The Giants put a left tackle out there that had a nervous breakdown on national television against the Cowboys. This, Chris, is what bad teams do. But they're not just bad. They're not made as a bad team. Like, there is some talent on this team. I don't think they're coached very well. And I'm not sitting here screaming that Dable should be gone today because there's still 8 games to go. But like I've said to you, how many wins are they going to get? And how many wins is enough? And I wonder how many people are starting to get to the point where they say, you know what? If I get 5 wins and they bring this guy back, I'd prefer not to win 3 games. Right? I think that's going to start to happen. Cherry Coke Nation chimes in again. We'll get to you in a second. I think that's going to start to happen. Because what does it matter to me, really, if the Giants win 4 games or 5 games? Sure, you'd like to win the extra game, and you don't have to worry about drafting a quarterback this offseason. But if it means that you're going to move on from this head coach and you continue to play bad football under this head coach, then maybe that's what has to happen. Cherry Coke Nation, CMC and San Francisco's Robinson needs gang tackles to stop. Now, Brian Robinson come on, he was traded for nothing. Matt Jones getting the ball out immediately because Niners receivers are always open. No secondary equals no rush. Yeah, they don't gang tackle. They don't cover in the secondary. They don't get a lot of pressure. And that's a bad football team is what they are. I mean, it's the same song and dance every single week. And now they're all banged up, but so is everyone. I mean, that's the truth. Nobody cares. You know what? The Broncos somehow are 7-2. Should they be 7-2? No, but they are. Why? Because they find ways to win games that they probably shouldn't win. That's what good teams do. Good teams, somehow, you get to the end of the game and say, boy, I can't believe they beat Houston today, but they did. I can't believe they beat the Giants, but they did. Right? And they're 7-2 because they're winning games that they probably shouldn't win. Well, guess what? The Giants are losing games that they probably shouldn't lose. Why? Because they're a bad football team. Because they're a bad organization right now. And the one thing that gives you solace and the one thing that gives you some level of excitement over what Tennessee has and Cleveland has and the Jets have and so many teams have or don't have is that you feel like you have the quarterback. And that's exciting. And that's the only thing that gives me real excitement right now is to think about what this could look like next year. But it's another season which goes right down the toilet. Another one. Why? Because they're not good. They're not good. Andrew Palzado. If we had Shanahan and the Niners had Dable, Giants win today, Dable's not good. I don't know. I know that Shanahan is a hell of a coach, a terrific head coach. Because you look at the amount of injuries that team has suffered. They don't have their quarterback. They don't have their best defensive player. They don't have their second best defensive player. They don't have their best receiver. And somehow they find ways to put up 34 points. You know, what do? They get the ball into the guys that make plays. Christian McCaffrey is a playmaker. So he touches it, 28 carries, 33 times today? Well, they have to. That's how they win. What are the Giants? What is the strength of the Giants? Is Jackson Dart? What else? I don't know. Is there anything? You'll run the ball particularly well. You'll have weapons on offense. You can't cover to save your life. You don't tackle well. What do you do well? That's the problem, right? They don't do anything all that well. And that's why they're 2-7. And that's why at this moment, they have the 6th pick in the draft. And then it's the Bears. And then there's no easy games. It's the Raiders. The Raiders are not awful. That's not a slam dunk layup win. This very well might wind up being another 3, maybe 4-win season. Now, have you seen enough progress from Jackson Dart, if that's the case, for you to say, bring back Dable, bring back Bowen, bring back Shane, bring them all back? Because if they win 4 games again, like Mr. Maris said, this has to translate to wins. Okay? Is it translating to wins? Doesn't feel like it. You're 2-7. You win 4 games. Is that what he meant? If we go 4-13, are we moving in the right direction? Because it really doesn't feel like it. Nico and Steve, do you have any comments, questions of people? Are they chiming in? Do we need to get to stuff? Do I have to hear from either of you? What's happening? Anything? Anybody?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of comments. You want to go to comments? Or you want to do our Twitter segment for?
You know what? I don't care.
Okay.
Okay. I don't care.
Why don't you care, Dave?
Because I'm just so annoyed. All right, your team won a game last week, and now you're on bye. So
we haven't lost 2 weeks in a row, baby.
This week. My team, we lost again. We're 2-7. All right. So Nico, what do you got?
All right. So we'll go to some comments, I guess, first. Do you think that this is a constant question we get asked? Coming in from John Corby and then some letters.
That's fine. John Corby's enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you think that we should bring in Pierce as a consultant to help with the defense?
I mean, you're not going to do that now. I mean, would I do it at the end of the year? I mean, I would consider making Antonio Pierce a defensive coordinator. I mean, make him a consultant. I don't want to bring him in now. I don't want to start bringing guys in for Band-Aids the rest of the season. When I'm willing to make and ready to make changes, I'll make changes at that point. They made their beds. Let them lie in this bed, and if things change, fine. If they don't, goodbye. What else?
Scott Hansen.
He's back.
Love Red Zone. Dart won't last long if he doesn't learn how to slide. Right. Look at Anthony Richardson.
Right. Well, okay. Couple things. First of all, Anthony Richardson is soft as Charmin. It's amazing. Like the guy's on the injured list because he got hurt in warmups the other day. He got hit in the head with a football. Now he's on the injured list. So, and he's always hurt. He's always hurt. But you're right. Dart needs to, and I don't know if the Giants don't tell him or they tell him and he's just like, I don't care. This is the way I play football, but you better knock that out of him. And the next coach better figure out how to change that because he's not going to last. You saw at the end of the game, he was doubled over on the sideline because he's all banged up. I mean, he's taking massive punishment down 17 and he's inflicting it. Like, why would you possibly do that? And I get it that he wants to win desperately, but you have to be smarter. What else you got?
Jay Gear 1011. Tracy is a backup. Wandale is a number 3. Yep. They have to force to be a number 1 because they don't have any other receiver. Maybe if Dayball is fired, Shane goes 2 at this point.
You're right. Tracy is a good backup running back. Wandale is a terrific number 3 receiver. They don't have the talent. They don't have the coaching. They don't have the pieces on the field. They can't tackle. They look unmotivated. They have no home field advantage. I mean, you name it, it's happening. Name it.
Can we? This is actually a great comment. I think we should do this. Kyle, subscribe so Dave can shave his head.
Why would I shave my head?
I don't know. Steve's painting his face. Not getting smacked at this point.
Why would I never agreed. I never said anything about shaving my head. Why would I shave my head?
I think Kyle's bringing up a great point.
I agree. I think that would be really good for the show, Dave.
I'll tell you what.
For the fans.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. It would be great for my appearance and for my wife and family as well. My wife's boyfriend would love it if I were to shave my head. So here's the thing, okay? If the Giants win out, I will shave my head.
Wow.
Bald.
I'm so down.
Bald.
Bald.
Like, I'll let you bick it live on the air. You can shave it down, and then we will bick it down to the nubs if the Giants win out.
What if we get to 3,000 subs by tomorrow?
No. Damn. Because that could happen. They're not winning out. Do you have anything else? I got to go home and watch the
Yeah, we have some tweets to get to, so we'll just get to them real quick.
Hurry up.
This is from Jordan Renam. Brian Daboll on being 2-7 when ownership said that after last season they did better results. We're not where we need to be.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for giving us the truth. We're not where we need to be. We're not trending in the right direction. They don't tackle anybody. They keep making the same mistakes, and you sit there on the sideline apoplectic when it happens over and over and over. What are the tweets you got, guys?
From Tommy, sorry, Jackson Dart, you have to overcome the worst defense in the NFL,
right?
Loss of Malik Neighbors and Cam Scadaboo,
right?
The fifth most penalized team in the NFL
Right.
and a head coach and defensive coordinator that can't get out of their own way.
No, you're 100% right.
Thank you, Tommy.
There's nothing to add because that is 100% accurate.
And then this, obviously, I'm pretty sure everyone saw this. Connie Hughes on Twitter. Another plane. There was 2 planes today.
One was wishing Mr. Mara well in his health battle, right? So we respect that. And the other one, Mr. Mara, enough is enough, clean house. And I'm reading people on Twitter saying, oh, that doesn't do anything. He cares. He cares. He hears it and he cares. And if you, because what else are we supposed to do? Other than come on this show and complain, go on my radio show and complain. You can call into me. You can YouTube live, right? You can throw into the super chat. We can have kind of an uprising among ourselves, but that's how the fan lets the owner know that we're unhappy, that we're displeased. You can think he doesn't care. He does care. He does. Anything else, or we say goodbye now? And
we have one more video from actually in the stadium today, I guess in the middle of the fourth quarter, or towards the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's a sea of red, a sea of Niners jerseys, and it's just embarrassing on home. At home.
Why would you go? Like, if you're a Niners fan and your team is giving you reason to want to watch them play, then you find a way to get to this game. If you're a Giants fan and your team continues to play like this and there's no hope and the season is spiraling out of control, why would you go? Why would you go? All right, I got to go. I want to go home and I want to watch the night game. So thank you for watching. We'll be live tomorrow when things will be action-packed again, 1 o'clock Eastern. Like us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Become a YouTube member, and we'll read you out live on air. We have more giveaways coming up soon. A lot going on tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern. Enjoy another Giants loss, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow on Dave Rothenberg's Giants Obsession. So if you like that live stream, check out this video or the other live streams. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe.